Hello friends, today I'm going to be talking to you about this mess. Now what this mess specifically is an auto-brewer for Hypixel Skyblock. Now, not many advancements have been made in the world of auto-brewers, likely because they have one job, which is to get you to ALK 50. But I hope that this gets spread around and gets people to ALK 50 much faster, or much more efficiently. For time's sake, both for you and for me, I'm not going to be explaining what alchemy is or why potions are useful, but I will be explaining the internal mechanisms, the specific parts, and why they are so integral to the core design of this auto-brewer. And we're going to start with this body piece. It is the core piece of the auto-brewer. It's in every single design that I've seen, or at least most of them. That is because this body works efficiently, it does what it's supposed to, and it does it well. And so I'll start building and explaining it right now. Now, to start off this build is to start off with the body, the core integral part, as I said earlier. We start with this, a kind of shape that looks like what would be a rejected O, thrown out into the trash. Sigh. Then, a little bit of a body, much like this. Now, here comes the repeater, redstone, comparator, torch, more redstone. Now, the way this is positioned makes it so that any redstone activated here cannot activate this down here, and any redstone down here cannot activate this. It's to prevent, cross wiring. And also that. Uh-oh. Then, bang, bang. Oh, too low. Boom. How crazy is that? Now, I'm going to tell you about the most important part. You need to fill this with 1922 blocks that cannot go into a brewing stand. The reason this is because it will, if it can go into the brewing stand, it'll just go through it and will ruin the whole machine. I hope you already knew that. Now, what this 22 block of your choice does is it prevents this, it activates this, but not enough to power, or more specifically, invert this. And it also not enough to power this. And so this can open us up to fill this with one item, and it goes. Let's say there's something already in here. You have an item in here. It locks. This is in, and the reason why this needs to be powered is because there's supposed to be a hopper right here. This powers the hopper, which stops it from moving blocks, or more specifically, your potions out until your potions finish brewing. Simple? Good. If you're wondering what this line of redstone here does, it holds this. Alright, so if we don't have anything in there, and we put ourselves a water bottle in here, it will not go through. This is because the hopper is locked by the redstone. Same mechanism that happens over here when the repeater locks this piece. And of course, if we put our lovely friendly chest in there, it locks and it's all fine and dandy. Yeah, all fine and dandy. I forgot to show you that the water bottle did in fact go through. Now that I've just showed you how to build this body, it's a core piece of every design. I will now show you how to do the rest. So starting off, let's start with these AND gates. The reason these are so integral to the design is because Hypixel Skyblock is a buggy game. And that's no fault of the admins, they just have to work around dupers and such. And so we have to work around those same rules. Now most people have functionally infused some sort of clock into their design. Now as a clock, while it isn't bad, it's also not perfect, and it will eat up a lot of materials and, more to mention, a lot of your redstone percent, assuming that you even use any redstone on your island. This is much more conservative with how much redstone it uses, and it's much more compact because all the other clocks are massive. Now, looking at this little AND gate, you can see that it's just this powers this, which turns this off, which makes this off. But what really happens is when these brewers are active, there's usually something in here. When this gets powered off, this gets powered on. All three of these get powered on. And when any of these are on, it signals that the brewer is currently brewing. Funny enough. And when the brewer is brewing, it would be a real shame if any of the materials get held up, which is exactly what happens, and it is exactly why this is so necessary. The clocks help people kind of time it, but the timings might not be perfect, and it's a huge mess. So this just makes it so if all three of these are turned off, then it flows a redstone signal that powers all three of these dispensers. And this is just a little on-off switch. Have I lost you yet? Hope not. Because we are about to start building this part in the world. Now, I've taken the liberty of building the other three kind of auto-brewers, and I've also filled them up with all the goodies. So first, I'm gonna go on a little rule of thumb here. This needs to always be full. Or at least it needs to always have the one thing you're using to brew. Specifically, I'm using Fermented Spider Eye, and I also learned the hard and expensive way that you cannot auto-brew Enchanted Sugarcane. If you want to know if you can auto-brew it, you can just create a little thing like this. Put the thing you want to try and auto-brew in, and if it goes in here, then you're golden. You don't even need that. If it goes in here, you're golden. If it's not, don't waste 20 million coins on Enchanted Sugarcane. So now to the building. You make one small L structure, like this. And then, here's the hard part. Repeaters. Redstone torches. that is the hardest part that you'll do in this step, because the next part is just line of redstone. Then, second hardest part, redstone torch. And back to being easy. I messed up regardless. You want to make sure there's at least one block of space so they don't interact. Then, ignore my loud keyboard. Then you take some repeaters there. Drag more redstone. Have a repeater here. And if you want to have a lock, you can have a lock. Particularly, you'd want to replace that with a lever. But boom! And just unlock it. Watch it. What? Oh, okay. Well, now you get to see the AND gates in action. So, obviously, this finished first. Never mind, you don't get to see the AND gates in action. But I will show you in Hypixel Skyblock that this does work. It's just in, yeah. Alright, and we're back here in our island. I've just showed you how to build the 2 essential parts, because that's all it actually takes. Sorry if I accidentally misled you by saying all of these core designs, because there's only 2. But I will demonstrate this working in Hypixel. So we have our things here. This is full. Remember, materials at the top, enhancers in the middle, and this material on the bottom. This needs to be equal to this, always. And yeah. Also, for the sake of demonstrating, I will use this to lock this hopper specifically. So it'll be like this one got delayed. Crazy, right? So as they are brewing, this one is done. It's about to get this one in, probably. This is what I talked about. Some items getting held up. See, this one's down. Now this one's down. And you can see this one here. Let's just say it finally goes through. And it's finally down here. These are done. They just emptied out. But it doesn't send a signal over here that tells these that they are done, because only those 2 are done and not this one. But once it's finished, see, it just finished and sent the signal around. Okay, if I take this out, there should be 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. Okay, so they all went through. That water bottle is nothing. So yeah, they all went through, and you can see now I collect these. I get the enchanting experience, or not enchanting, alchemy experience up here, and sell them. Bing, 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 bing. And that's the demonstration. That is the Auto-brewer. Share this with other people, and yeah, have a good one.